You know, it's funny how once you hit a certain age,
Uh-huh.
it's like your metabolism just decides to take a vacation,
Yeah.
staying on top of blood sugar.
Mm.
It suddenly becomes like this whole big thing.
It's true. Our bodies definitely change as we get older.
Right. And so many people are dealing with
Yeah.
blood sugar issues.
Yeah, and that dip in how well our metabolism works.
Totally. And that's kind of why we're diving into glucose 6 today.
Okay.
It's the supplement that's been making some pretty big promises
Interesting.
about helping regulate blood sugar and even supporting weight loss,
Okay.
all naturally.
Sounds promising, but is it the real deal?
That's what we're here to find out.
Exactly. We gotta
'Cause is it?
we gotta separate the hype from the actual science.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
So from what I've been reading, they're really focusing on
Yeah.
insulin resistance.
It seems like they are, which is smart because,
Right.
insulin resistance
That's
is
huge.
a root cause of so many metabolic problems.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But how is this supposed to work?
Well, their main strategy is all about improving insulin sensitivity.
Okay.
Basically, the idea is that if your body is more responsive to insulin,
Right.
it can use glucose more efficiently,
Uh-huh.
which means less sugar building up in your bloodstream,
Okay. That makes sense.
which is good news for anyone worried about prediabetes or type 2.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Now, they also talk about weight loss benefits, but
Yeah.
that seems a bit more like down the road, you know?
That's where their secondary goal comes in, boosting metabolism.
Okay.
They claim that glucose 6 can help you tap into that stored fat
Uh-huh.
and use it for energy.
Right.
So it's directly addressing that age-related metabolic slowdown
Yeah, yeah, okay.
we were just talking about.
So it's like a two-pronged approach,
Yeah.
blood sugar regulation,
Mm-hmm.
and then increasing how much fat you burn.
That's right.
To do that, I mean, they've got to have some pretty
Mm-hmm.
potent ingredients in this formula, right?
Yeah, they do.
What are we looking at here?
There are a lot of components,
Uh-huh.
but some really stand out,
Okay.
like berberine.
Oh, berberine.
Mhm.
I've heard that name thrown around, but I
Yeah.
don't really know much about it.
What's gotten a lot of attention from scientists.
Really?
Yeah, and what's fascinating is that studies show
Hmm?
berberine can work on a bunch of different levels.
Okay.
It improves insulin sensitivity, but it can also decrease
Okay.
the amount of glucose your liver makes.
Wow.
So it's not just about managing existing glucose.
Right.
It's actually reducing how much your body has to deal with overall.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like attacking the problem from multiple angles.
Exactly.
What other ingredients are
Mm.
they using that kind of like add to that approach?
Another one that stands out is Gymnema sylvestre.
Okay.
You might know it as the sugar destroyer.
The sugar destroyer.
Just-
Okay, that's a pretty
Catchy, right?
intense name.
It is.
How does it
Yeah.
live up to that?
Well, picture this.
Okay.
It's like there's a net in your intestines,
Uh-huh.
and it's catching those sugar molecules before they get absorbed.
Oh, wow.
This helps reduce the total amount of sugar getting into your blood.
So it's like blocking it at the source.
There's more.
Okay.
It's also believed to help reduce sugar cravings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like a double whammy.
Kind of a 1-2 punch against sugar.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
yeah.
What else is in this?
Okay, so there's cinnamon bark extract.
Like regular cinnamon.
Yeah, no, you're probably thinking
Yeah.
like just the stuff from your spice rack.
Yeah, exact.
But it's actually more than that.
Okay. So does it help with like
Uh,
baking low sugar treats or something?
Not quite, but
Quite.
it does have a pretty cool trick.
Okay.
Cinnamon can actually mimic the effects of insulin in your body.
Really?
Yeah. And research suggests that it might even enhance
Wow.
glucose uptake by your cells.
So it's like adding extra insulin activity,
That's the idea.
but without actually taking insulin.
Exactly.
Wow.
And studies are finding it could help lower fasting blood glucose levels
Oh, wow.
and even improve insulin sensitivity over time.
So cinnamon is like stepping up its game.
It really is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Those three ingredients alone sound like a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
But what about the rest of the stuff?
Okay, so.
I saw
yeah.
alpha-lipoic acid,
Mm-hmm.
chromium picolinate,
Yeah.
and banana leaf extract.
Those are all important too.
Okay.
They each target a specific aspect of metabolic health.
Okay, like what does alpha-lipoic acid do?
Well, it's a powerful antioxidant.
Okay.
So it's like a shield protecting your cells
Oh.
from the damage that high blood sugar can cause.
Oh, okay.
And it also helps enhance insulin function
Uh-huh.
and supports the conversion of glucose into usable energy.
So it's like protecting the body
Yeah.
while also making sure those blood sugar levels are Yeah,
Same check.
it's multitasking.
Okay, and what about chromium picolinate? That one always
Yeah.
sounds a bit technical to me.
Yeah, well, chromium is actually an essential mineral,
Mm-hmm.
and it's super important for insulin sensitivity
Okay,
and blood sugar regulation.
got it.
Think of it as like a facilitator,
Mm-hmm.
helping those other ingredients,
Like the berberine?
like berberine and cinnamon,
Okay,
do their jobs even better.
interesting.
Yeah, there are even studies that show chromium supplements
Hmm.
can have a really positive impact
Okay,
on long-term blood sugar control.
that's good, because it does seem like glucose 6 is really emphasizing those long-term benefits
It does.
rather than just like quick fixes.
Like a Band-Aid solution.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
And then banaba leaf extract, that was the last one, right?
that's right.
That one, what's that one all about?
That's another plant-based ingredient.
Okay.
It's been used to manage diabetes for a long time.
Yeah, and it works in a similar way to cinnamon.
Okay.
It enhances insulin function
Uh-huh.
and improves how well your cells absorb glucose.
So they're really trying to hit like every angle of how our body
Yeah.
handles sugar.
They're trying to optimize the whole process.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So we've got this whole team of ingredients working together to regulate blood sugar
Yes.
and support a healthy metabolism.
That's right.
It sounds like a pretty
Mhm.
well-rounded formula,
It does.
but who exactly are they targeting with this?
Right, like who would benefit the most?
Yeah.
Well, based on their claims and the ingredients they're using,
Uh-huh.
it seems like they're aiming at a few key groups.
Okay.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
people dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Given their focus on blood sugar regulation.
Yeah, of course.
It's a natural fit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're also aiming at the over 40 crowd,
Oh,
especially those who are starting to feel that
right.
age-related metabolic shift.
Like it's just harder to process glucose and maintain a healthy weight
Exactly.
once you hit that age.
It's like your body's decided to join a slower-paced yoga class.
Right. It's not as quick and nimble as it used to be.
Exactly. And so glucose 6 is kind of positioned
Yeah.
as a way to combat those changes.
Okay. But it's not just for people with like diagnosed conditions.
Exactly.
Right. They're also targeting anyone who's struggling to lose weight
Especially insulin resistance.
due to insulin resistance. Yeah.
Which makes sense, because I've heard that can,
Oh, it can make weight loss
Oh,
feel
no,
like
yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
It really can.
like you're just
Yeah.
working against your own body.
It's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And when your body isn't responding to insulin the way it should,
Right.
it's more likely to store fat
Ugh, instead of burning it.
instead of burning it for energy. Yeah.
So
And so glucose 6 is like,
is aiming to address that root cause
oh,
instead of just,
the symptom.
instead of just treating the weight gain.
So it's more of a holistic approach
Exactly.
to weight management than just a
It's not just a
quick fix.
quick weight loss pill. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And they're really tapping into that growing interest in
Yeah.
natural health solutions.
Sure.
A lot of people are looking for those plant-based options.
Absolutely.
And glucose 6 fits right in
Yeah.
with that kind of approach.
Okay, so they're casting a pretty wide net then
They are.
from people managing
Yeah.
pre-diabetes or diabetes to people who just want to
Yeah, just want to
like support their metabolism.
support their overall metabolic health.
Right. Oh,
But let's get down to brass tacks.
okay.
What are the actual benefits?
So yeah, what can people realistically expect?
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest claim
Yeah.
is definitely improved blood sugar control.
Yeah. Right. That's the core of it.
Right.
The idea is that glucose 6 helps stabilize your blood sugar
Okay.
throughout the day.
So you don't get those
Exactly. You avoid those spikes and crashes.
energy crashes.
Yeah, those energies
That
that
cravings and all that.
yeah, all the unpleasant symptoms that come with those.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I can imagine for someone with pre-diabetes or type 2, that kind of stability is...
It can be a game changer.
Yeah.
It really can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's about giving people more control
Exactly.
over their blood sugar.
Empowering people to manage their blood sugar.
And hopefully prevent any further complications.
And lower that risk of complication.
Right. Okay.
But they also talk about
Yeah.
enhanced metabolic function
Right.
as a key benefit.
Is that just a fancy way of saying like
Well,
more energy?
it's more than just a boost.
Okay.
It's about how well your body processes glucose
Uh-huh.
and fat. And when you see improvements there,
Yeah.
it can impact
Like a ripple effect?
like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's about optimizing how our bodies use energy in general.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And that can lead to more energy,
Okay.
clearer thinking,
Uh-huh.
even improvements in mood and sleep.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And of course, they highlight the whole
Oh, yeah.
all natural aspect.
That's a big selling point for a lot of people.
Yeah. People are looking for those plant-based solutions more and more.
Yeah, they want gentler options.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's not forget about the weight loss claims.
Right. We can't overlook those.
Yeah.
So their argument is that by addressing insulin resistance and improving metabolic function, glucose-6 basically creates an environment that's more conducive to weight loss.
Okay, so it's not so much a weight loss supplement as it is a metabolic support. That could help people who are...
Yeah, specifically people who...
Specifically struggling
because of insulin resistance.
Yeah, okay.
That seems to be their angle.
Gotcha.
But while the science behind the ingredients is interesting, I think it's important to be...
a little cautious.
A little skeptical. Yeah, we can't just buy into the hype.
Totally.
Yeah.
What are some things we should be wary of?
Well, for one, there's not a lot of information about long-term studies specifically on glucose-6.
Right, so we know some of these ingredients have research...
Essential ingredients,
but not necessarily in this combination.
Right, we don't know how they interact within this specific formula.
Or what the long-term effects might be.
Exactly, so it's like we have pieces of the puzzle, but not the whole picture.
Yeah.
That's pretty common with supplements in general.
We don't always have the...
Yeah, we're often missing.
Like long-term research.
This long-term research to fully understand the benefits and risks.
Which is why it's so important to talk to your doctor.
Your doctor.
Right.
Yeah, they can help you.
Because even though it's natural, it doesn't mean it can't interact with other things you might be taking.
Medications or other supplements.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So it's all about personalized healthcare, right?
It is. It's about making informed decisions that are right for your specific situation.
Your own situation, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, and another important thing to remember. Supplements should supplement.
Right. Not replace.
Not replace a healthy lifestyle.
Right. Because it's easy to think of a supplement as like a quick fix.
Like a magic bullet.
Yeah, exactly.
But true health
is more than that.
It's a holistic thing.
Yeah.
It's about diet, stress management, sleep, all of that.
All those foundational things.
Those are the cornerstones.
Yeah. It's like expecting a vitamin to fix a terrible diet.
Yeah, it's like trying to put a Band-Aid on a broken leg.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to cut it.
Okay, so you have to address the root causes.
Exactly.
Not just mask the symptoms.
You got to get to the source of the problem.
Right, and that brings up the question of sustainability. Like what happens when you stop taking the supplement?
Right. Have you actually fixed the problem?
Right.
Or just covered it up temporarily?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It's a crucial question.
Because those healthy habits, the diet, the exercise, the stress management,
all of that,
the sleep,
that's what creates lasting health.
Right. It's not about relying.
Yeah, you can't just rely
on a pill,
on a supplement to manage everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so while glucose-6 might offer some benefits.
Let's reset. We gotta be realistic.
We gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
And approach it with a discerning eye.
Totally.
And a holistic mindset.
Don't just buy into the hype.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor.
Absolutely.
Consider how it fits into your overall health goals.
Right. Like, how does it fit into your life?
Yeah, your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Right.
I think the biggest thing we've learned here is that glucose-6, it might be helpful.
It could be a useful tool.
But it's just one piece.
Exactly. It's not a magic solution.
Right.
It's part of a bigger picture.
And we can't rely on supplements alone to be healthy.
We have to be proactive.
Right. Like, we got to acknowledge that our bodies change.
Yeah, as we get older.
And make choices that support...
You got to adapt.
Those changes.
Yeah, support your body through those changes.
Exactly.
Yeah, just wait for problems to pop up.
Right.
You got to get ahead of them.
Be proactive.
Exactly.
So this has been a really interesting deep dive into glucose-6.
We've covered a lot.
We've talked about the science,
the gradients,
the potential benefits,
the potential downsides.
And most importantly, I think we've emphasized the importance of...
of making informed decisions.
Smart choices.
Absolutely.
About your health.
That's what it's all about.
We want our listeners to feel empowered.
Yes.
To be critical thinkers.
Don't just take things at face value.
Right. And to really think about their health journey.
And be curious.
Yeah. Ask questions. Do the research.
Exactly.
Talk to your healthcare providers.
Get advice from the experts.
Right, because what works for one person might not work for someone else.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Exactly.
Everyone's different.
Okay, so even if something like glucose 6 seems promising, it's just one part.
It's one tool.
Of a much bigger...
Oh, sure, I like that, the toolbox.
Yeah, like a health toolbox.
We got to remember that real health, it's a journey.
It's not a destination.
It's about
the whole process.
Making sustainable changes.
Yeah, finding what works for you.
Yeah, in the long run.
Long term.
Before we wrap up,
yeah,
I want to leave everyone with one final thought.
I'm listening.
This is for anyone who's concerned about their metabolic health.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Don't wait for things to go wrong.
For things to go downhill.
Be proactive.
Be proactive, yeah.
Take charge of your health.
Our bodies change.
They do.
As we age.
It's a fact of life.
We've got to make choices.
The choices are yours.
That support our well-being.
Every step of the way.
I like that.
Yeah.
So keep asking those questions.
Stay curious.
Stay curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember.
Your health.
Your health is a journey.
Is a journey worth taking.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Into glucose 6.
Until next time, stay well.